Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, AE. Merry Christmas to all and to all a good Sprite. Is that what he says in the cranberry Sprite commercial? I don't really drink soda, but he makes those cranberry Sprites look good. Anyway, if you didn't hear about it, Anthony Edwards was, of course, at All Star Weekend. He sat out last minute, but it's not what this video is about. Basically, they were interviewing Anthony Edwards before the game, I guess, and they were asking him about being the face of the NBA. And he basically said, "Nah, that's what y'all have Victor Wembanyama for." So paraphrasing, he basically said he's not interested in being the face of the NBA. That's not something he's trying to be or pursuing so much. Some people like just go to work and do their job and go home, and they're really good at their job, just like Ant Man is really good at his job. But he's basically saying, I don't want all the other stuff that comes with being the face of the NBA. Like, LeBron's still the face of the NBA right now, and he always keeps his hands clean. He's not getting in trouble off the court. He's a family man. All these different things, and that's what they want to kind of promote to the American public, um, instead of a player who gets in trouble and has off the court issues and things like that. I'm not saying that Anthony Edwards has a lot of issues like that. We'll get to it in a little bit. He has some drama, but basically, yeah, he said he doesn't want to be the face of the NBA. And Carmelo Anthony had some comments about it. Everyone's been commenting about it, and most people are saying, "Oh, you gotta take that. You gotta accept being the face of the NBA. It's right there in front of you or whatever. Um, you're a super talented American-born player. You got to be the face of the NBA. Highlight dunks. He has it all on the court to be that. But when he says he doesn't want to be the face of the NBA, just listen to him. It is what it is. Maybe that's something he doesn't want. Just wants to come and ball and then go home. Tim Duncan was never the face of the NBA. He won 5 championships. He's the greatest power forward of all time. So if Anthony Edwards has a super successful career and is never the face of the NBA, no one's going to look back at your career. No one looks back at Tim Duncan's career and says, "Oh, he's the best power forward of all time, but he just wasn't the face of the NBA." Like, that was the one thing. People care about championships and like your resume. They don't care about if you're the face of the NBA when they look back at your history. With that being said, as well, the NBA always wants to make an American player the face of the NBA for whatever reason. I guess I get it. Basketball is not an American game, is it? Was it invented in America? I honestly don't know. Comment below where basketball was invented if you know. But yeah, the NBA, the biggest league, is here in America. That's fine. But they always say it's a global game. It's a global game. We want to expand the game. If you want to expand the game so bad, and you're always saying it's so global, let Victor Wembanyama be the face of the NBA. Nikola Jokic probably should have been the face of the NBA for the past few years. Let Giannis be the face of the NBA. You know what I mean? Let some of these foreign players, Luka Doncic, maybe he looks like the next guy that could maybe be it. But I can't think of one foreign-born player that's ever been the face of the NBA, and I think it's ridiculous, from the NBA, because it's like y'all are always talking about expanding the game and we're a global game and this and that, yet y'all don't push any of your foreign players. Comment below what you think. I just feel like the NBA does not promote their foreign players. Get out of here, Asia Wilson. They don't promote their foreign players in the way that they should. Um, they always want to push American players first, and I feel like it's kind of moving backwards. Just push all your players. They are in the NBA. Just push your best NBA players. It doesn't have to be an American guy. That's not me saying that Anthony Edwards doesn't have the skill set to be the face. But yeah, right here, for Anthony, get out of here, Asia Wilson. For Anthony, being the face of the NBA isn't something Edwards should run from, and it's going to happen organically whether he likes it or not. That's what Carmelo said on his podcast. 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Check out Melo's podcast. It's actually super cool. But yeah, here's Melo. I love Ant, but you can't run from that, especially when everybody is trying to give you the face. You can't run from that. That's what Carmelo said. You can't reject it and then be in 4 out of 5 commercials. You can't do that. We'll get back to that. That's a good point by Melo. You can't say I don't want this and then get Adidas, Sprite, this commercial. You can't reject it. You got to pick a side. Either you just play ball and do what you do. This is what comes with being a superstar. And I agree with Melo on that, honestly. That's a great point. Like, if you just want to come and play ball, don't be out in the commercials. Don't be pushing your face out there. Like, Ant-Man seems to like the attention. He's more Kobe-like than Tim Duncan-like. He's not just going to go home and read a book and just be chilling like Timmy. He's has more of a Kobe personality. He wants to be out there. He seems to want attention on himself. Um, so like Carmelo is saying, if you want to come to work and hoop, just come to work and hoop, but don't spend your free time going and being in Cranberry Sprite commercials and Adidas commercials. Again, no problem with Ant Man doing that. Get your money, man. I have no problem with that. But like Carmelo is saying, don't put yourself in commercials and put your face all out there in the public, and then say, hey, I don't want to be the face of the NBA. I don't want all this attention you're giving me. Yet you're pushing yourself out in commercials and just making people that aren't even basketball fans know who you are because they see you on the commercials. Who's that? Now you're more and more popular. It's like you're trying to build the brand of your name, but you don't want to be the face of the NBA. And from my point of view, I have no problem with him not wanting to be the face of the NBA. Like, it's his decision. Again, Duncan never was, and he won 5 championships. So Anthony Edwards can have a great career without ever being the face of the NBA. But with that being said, I don't think he would be a very good face of the NBA either. He's not a comment below what you think. I don't think he's a very good role model for the kids and stuff like that. Just to be totally honest, he has a daughter with, I think it's an Instagram model, and she has a daughter with Chief Keef, who's a famous rapper. If you don't know who Chief Keef Sosa is, but yeah, they both have daughters or sons with the same Instagram model. And then once Anthony Edwards had gotten that chick pregnant, she like texts him, "I'm pregnant" or whatever. You can look it up, and then he texts her back, get a cancellation, if you know what I'm saying. Um, so he told her that, and then I think they ended up having the kid. I don't know, but that's just really crappy, to what I mean. He had a good fun night. Obviously, he has all the resources to support a kid if he wanted to, but he's still young. He didn't want to have kids. Well, it's like, bro, be more responsible when you're out partying, dude. Like, what you got to do to not be in that situation. You can still have your fun, but be protected, and you know what I mean. Not be in the situation. You gotta be a man at that point, and just own up for what you did, in my opinion. Another thing too about Anthony Edwards, it's not an Anthony Edwards bashing session. I love him as a basketball player. It's probably like 2 years ago or so. He was driving by. It was like a gay club, I think, and he shouted out some. I forgot what he said, but just some really terrible stuff. To the people at this gay club, or whatever it was, and he just said some derogatory words. But he was driving by, like, yelled it out his window at them. It's like, bro, like, what did he just drive? Like, what did he even need to do that for? Like, what was the point of that? So he's still a kid, though. He's only what, 23, 24 now. He's still young, so I get it. You make some mistakes and stuff, but with the whole him telling that girl to cancel his son, and then with the yelling derogatory stuff out at the club. I mean, those things, the NBA does not like that. They don't want to see, they don't be pushing that out, and then people, dig up the dirt on Anthony Edwards like they have, and they find out these things, and then you're the face of the NBA. I mean, Kobe had his issues. He had, what happened with Kobe back in Colorado. That was when he was younger, and then I guess, people got past it or forgot about it or whatever it was, and then he ended up being the face of the NBA. But, regardless of the role model stuff, with Anthony Edwards doing those things that I'm talking about, whatever, it's not really my business. It's gonna come out in the public. People are gonna know about it. But if that's the kind of person you are, and you tell girls to cancel your son, and yell derogatory stuff at people at the club or whatever, I don't really care. Do what you do. Like, I probably wouldn't hang out with you and be your friend. But basically, what Anthony Edwards is saying, to get back on his side, he's like, I want to go out. I want to have fun. I want to yell derogatory stuff at people. Hopefully, he learned from that, and he doesn't do that for fun. But you know what I mean? He's like, I'm young. I want to go ball. I want to go out and have fun with my friends and do things. I'm not trying to be, like LeBron. LeBron came out. He was with the same girlfriend he was with in high school. He's with Savannah the whole time. And then, he's just a family man, of course, now, and he's a pretty good role model, for the kids. He's cocky and arrogant and stuff. But what NBA player isn't, though? So that's where I get back to Anthony Edwards' side. Like, he's saying, I don't want to be the face of the NBA. I'm not trying to go out and be walking on eggshells all the time, be super aware of what I'm saying every single second. Because, you know what I mean? Players can get in trouble every once in a while and, do stupid stuff and say things, like what Anthony Edwards says that I think is a little insensitive, but then he comes out and says, "I'm not trying to be the face of the NBA. Stop. Y'all are trying to push that on me." Then you come back and say, "Oh, but you can't be screaming things out at the clubs and be doing stuff like that, Anthony Edwards." And then he's just like, "I never asked to be the face of the NBA." Um, so comment below what you think. I think it's gonna be Wemby or Luca next. Honestly, hopefully either one of those guys make it a foreign player. Like they're always trying to push American players to be the face of the NBA. Out of the American players we have in the league, Anthony Edwards would be the best face in the NBA in my opinion with his highlight dunks and his playing style and everything like that. He's really charismatic. But then back to Carmelo Anthony's point, like don't be in 4 out of 5 commercials and you're out there, you're putting your face out there everywhere, you know, with your play style. You play great. Like Melo said, it's going to come naturally, honestly, if you're out there in the commercials and doing this and that. If you don't want to be the face, I agree with Carmelo's point there. Don't be pushing yourself out there in commercials and this and that. Never saw Tim Duncan in all these commercials and stuff. If you live in Texas, you see him in HEB commercials. If you don't live in Texas, you probably don't even know what HEB is. It's the best grocery store there is. But yeah, kind of like Carmelo was saying, don't be in nationally televised commercials for Sprite and Adidas and this and that. And your face is gonna be all over the country. And then when people are kind of trying to bestow the face of the NBA on you, then you say, man, I just want a ball. I don't want to have my face all out there, but you put it out there in the commercials. So I don't lean too hard either way. I understand what Carmelo's saying with him putting his face out there, being in commercials and all this, and it may come naturally for him. Then I understand Anthony Edwards' side as well. I'd probably feel more like him personally if I was one of the best players in the NBA that's saying, hey, be the face of the NBA, be the face of the NBA. I don't want to go out and walk on eggshells every night and just have to be aware of who I am all the time and make sure I don't say something wrong or hurt someone's feelings. You know what I mean? I would want to be having to live like that from Anthony Edwards' point of view. But please comment below what you think about this whole situation. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video too. With the big 28 subscribers, if I can get to 30 by the end of the day, YouTube's gonna send me a diamond ring on my pinky. So please like and subscribe.